how do they call that vote again? The veto power.
Yeah.
They have the veto power. So that is what I understand where Zelensky is coming from. It doesn't make sense, but I think I see where he's coming from. He's grasping at straws, anything that can help him. And he has 2 veto members now that are with him, that are willing to go any length, destroy some pipelines, kill some more people. And they were supposed to pass the 20th sanctions package last week. It failed. What was in that 20th sanctions package? They want to do what the United States was doing to Venezuela to Russian vessels anywhere in the sea.
Oh.
So, and that means the rights, the 20th sanctions package, I'm not getting the legal term they use, but just understand the spirit of what they wrote is what I'm saying. The right to now impound sanctioned, what's the name of those vessels? They call them again, shadow fleets. The right to impound, you know, the United States was picking up.
It's not even shadow fleet, it's just a fleet.
It's a fleet, but the United States was picking up Venezuelan sanctioned vessels on the sea, so they want to translate it into they want to bake that into this 20th sanctions package, for which the head of the Russian intelligence have said that is basically an act of war.
Yeah.
So for some reason, some cool heads there were very good to see that the 20th sanctions package did not pass. It was also supposed to include an embargo. Imagine a group of nations putting an embargo on the nation with the largest nuclear stockpile. I mean, you just keep seeing how far they... And I think they've been encouraged, if you think about it in a sense, by the mildness of Russian approach to the war.
Yeah.
So for them to think that they're going to put embargo, you know, once again, they're picking embargo because of what the United States did to Venezuela. We're going to put ships around Russia, the largest nation on earth. They're going to somehow put ships around Russia so that nobody leaves, no economic vessel leaves Russia or comes back. They were trying to put that in the 20s, but they're doing it.
It wouldn't be shocking, especially if you had some of the statements that they gave at the Munich Security Conference, which is dealing with the conflict in any case. Remember, they admitted by themselves that they would want to see this war end when Russia is weakened, either militarily or economically. And you're looking at almost, when you're speaking of embargo, you're looking at the economy. When you're speaking of nuclear, that's trying to actually weaken them militarily. So you're looking at a bluff that is turning out to be not a bluff at all, because it looked like a bluff at the Munich Security Conference, but from some of the things that they are doing and the movements that is actually happening within Europe, you see that the EU Inc. is actually becoming more dictatorial.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Well, a lot of accusations on Israel. My goodness, it gets worse by the day and by the minute. Israel this, Israel that, Israel this, Israel that. We touched on it a bit yesterday. But in his address to AIPAC, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that Israel is not a burden, but a strategic asset to America. And he stated that Israel supplies the United States with crucial intelligence, collaborative technologies such as the Iron Dome, and advancements in cybersecurity, all supported by the national security. What are your thoughts on this?
This is why I've always said that the Americans, when you actually want to push for changes in Israel, you can actually utilize, put everything on the table when you're actually having negotiations about Christians in the country. Remember that conversation we were having?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is admitting that Israel is a strategic asset to the Americans.
Okay.
And there is a relationship that actually exists. The Americans need the Israelis as much as the Israelis actually need the Americans. And they should utilize that particular
platform.
Platform.
That's it.
The Americans, Christians.
So why is he, this is how I'm going to approach it, why is he making this comment?
No, because obviously he's speaking to an audience.
No, he's making the comment. Remember what I said in the
first place. She already said something about it.
There's so many accusations on Israel, so many of them, especially right now.
Not just accusations, innuendos, flat-out anti-Israeli positions that are...
And especially right now with this
Iran
almost war or whatever the case may be, Iran situation.
A lot more people in the United States believe the United States is going to the war with Iran for Israel.
For Israel, yes.
And remember, give them a little bit of credit here, because the United States didn't want to go to Iran. Trump didn't want to fight the Iran war first night. He had to do it because it was getting out of hand. He had to do it because it was getting out of hand. So in that sense, yes, they did it for Israel. So I'm trying to say there's a credence there. So the next question on it, to look at it from an analysis perspective, is why is Bibi now addressing that to AIPAC? Why does he need to recount the values of the United States, the United States-Israeli relations to AIPAC? AIPAC definitely is a friendly conference. So if you think about it, okay, let me ask my question. It's like he's marshalling out this new message. We're going to run with it. There's a strategic benefit here. Because the sentiment is getting out of social media, and we would likely see it in politics. By the way, AIPAC no longer supports political candidates through a general purse. You know, before, friends of AIPAC will bring money, then AIPAC disburses it.
Yeah.
But for them to do that, they must publish it. It has to be public information, so you can see everybody. And you know, if you even go online, there's something called an AIPAC tracker. So people are now saying, don't vote for this guy because we saw his name in the AIPAC tracker list. So AIPAC is going at it from a different level. What am I trying to say in all? And I said this exactly October 7th, 2023, when I said, this is hate. And this hate we're going to see this hate. What does hate do? Unless there's a peacekeeper to stop the hate economy. That's when I actually started with using this word, hate economy. Unless there's a peacekeeper to stop it, this hate, it has not stopped. And what we're seeing is now the name in the hate today is not Hamas, because we started the hate with Hamas for killing children, burning people, rape, this. Like, somebody's got to stop this, because it only moves from quarter to quarter. We are likely seeing a fermenting of hate against anything Israel in the United States, is what I'm saying. And it's going to start, then it goes into politics. Before it goes into politics, just look at every time it happened, every time this metastasized. Then before you know, the devil comes in, then it becomes that real thing called anti-Semitism. But so the Prime Minister of Israel is just ushering, and you remember this is in this bid to do that. When you guys were in Israel, because we had a conversation on this desk, when they brought 1,000 ministers of the gospel.
Yes.
Yes.
To pray. Yeah.
Not to pray. It was like a briefing or something. I don't know. Is it a briefing, a certification, or any information?
And they prayed.
Yeah. It's all in the fight. We are here, but that fight has already started.
I was thinking, you know, when you look at the gospel, right? When you look at the message, whatever message that you have, you shouldn't grow tired of actually telling out your message.
Yeah.
For example, you are looking at the message that has been sent to the world, which is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Till today, that same message is still going out. And I think one of the key things that tends to actually happen